Today on Tanaka Homestead, I want to give you a quick tour of my garden. Here she is, looking good, lots of growth, always makes me happy. So let's go ahead and get an up close and personal look at what I'm growing. For starters, here's my little herb garden. I take fresh herbs out of this pretty much daily, and I use them to cook. If you're looking to get into gardening and you want to start off with something easy, I think an herb garden is the way to go. Right here is my lemongrass. I'm not kidding, it's like 5 feet or so tall. I mean, this thing, they just grow, but you can harvest the lemongrass, and I certainly do. You can use that to make soups and teas and so forth. So lemongrass is pretty easy to grow and definitely a must-have in the garden. Here are my marigolds. For the life of me, I cannot understand what continues to dig in the center here. Just every day I have to come out here and fill this back up. But I like to have various flowers. At least right now I have the marigolds right here. But I like to have them planted just so I can attract some pollinators. Over here in this first bed, I have some lettuce. Looking good and continuing to grow. We have daikon radish right here, still young, definitely has some growing to do, but looking good overall. And remember, you can eat the tops of these, taste just like a green, so definitely don't waste those if you have them. Here's my Chinese broccoli in this bed, and they're all looking really good and healthy. They love this cool weather. Remember, this is a cut and come again crop, so do not uproot this when you're harvesting. Just cut what you need and you'll notice that it will grow back in no time. Right here I have some Chinese cabbage, and I'll be very honest with you, it's looking pretty crowded, but I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these and enjoy eating them. It's just delicious. You can eat it raw or you can eat it cooked, put it in soup, stews, salads, whatever, but those young leaves are fantastic. Right here in these two beds I have some celery, and still young, but all looking real good and healthy. We use tons of celery for cooking in our home, so that's a must-have. Right here in the back, I have some eggplant, and they should start blooming here soon, but they've actually done a lot of growing and doing really well, so I can't wait to harvest eggplant, trust me. I have my onions here, all looking good. I have 3 raised beds in this row, and then in the other row I have 3 additional beds. Of course, because we are in Central Florida, we have to grow short day onions, but man, are they delicious and lots of fun to grow. So if you haven't done that, definitely recommend it. Here's my red romaine. This is ready to harvest. I have some more romaine lettuce here, also looking good, ready to harvest. And then in this back bed I have some Brussels sprouts. They're still pretty young and obviously needing to grow quite a bit, but I'm sure that they will. And then I have some additional onions here, but I planted these a lot closer than my other onions, and these will be more of like my buncheon onions. I like to have variety, and we use a lot of onions when we cook. Here are all my collards. I have to tell you, I take great pride in my collards. Look at how beautiful these are. Just gorgeous. Okay, tasty. But those are my collards, and they still have time to grow. I have more Chinese broccoli here, and then of course my Chinese cabbage, which was in my other video. Actually, I show a progression of how those seeds grew in the black cow versus the biofiber. So if you haven't had the opportunity to check that out, please do. Right here in the back, my pride and joy are my blueberry bushes. This is my little blueberry patch, and of course everything's looking kind of red and fallish. You know, the leaves look beautiful right now, but they will definitely brighten up and turn green in the earlier part of the year, and we will get some delicious blueberries. My bell peppers are growing in those 2 bags. I have some grass here for our tortoise Humphrey, whom I love dearly like a child. I have some cuttings here of different plants. I have some more bell peppers, some additional cuttings, but they're actually growing. They look good. I have some mustards here for our tortoise. They're a little crowded, but I mean, it's for our tortoise, not a big deal. We have some more onions, and then of course some more grass in the back for our tortoise. I had to clear this bed out, and what I mean is all of this. You see all this? It was crazy. It was growing like, I mean, it's unbelievable. But I have Jerusalem artichokes in here, so I cleared it out. I still have them in there. They'll root. They're very easy to grow. They'll take over those, so you have to be careful. But in the springtime, you'll have these beautiful, beautiful shoots and flowers that develop. It's just amazing. But I did have to clean this area up because it was looking like a hot mess. Finally, here are my pole beans. They're kind of doing what they're doing. I've really had a tough time with them, but it looks like they're finally started to take, but hopefully we'll get some beans out of them. This part of my yard looks pretty terrible. I had spiral ginger back here, turmeric. I had all kinds of cool things. And unfortunately, with the hurricane and then trees having to get removed, it just all got destroyed. So I'm hoping my awapui and all that, and some of these that have rhizomes are just underground, and once we get all this clear, they'll start developing, and I will see some beautiful plants. But we got to get this removed. I hope that you enjoyed a quick tour of my backyard garden. Things are a little bit in disarray, but overall I'm getting some good veggies, and I hope to harvest, especially my lettuce, start harvesting that. But I just want to give you an idea of what a Central Florida backyard garden looks like during this time of year. And remember, you live in Florida, you can grow pretty much year round, but definitely check on which vegetables grow in your area and which time, especially if you don't live in Florida, because things can be different depending on where you live. So thank you so much for watching my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, and happy gardening. Bye-bye.